Freaky pigs, strange chicks, world affairs, polar bears, fake news, nice shoes, big boobs, jack dudes. All of these things and more as I sat on the shitter. Things that I saw on Twitter.
All right, Stoff. Go ahead.
Alrighty.
Vaccine. Russia has too much vaccine and nobody wants to take it.
I don't know if they have too much vaccine. Unlike other places, they're having a hard time giving their vaccine to people. I saw somewhere in a study that only 38% of adults in Russia are willing to take the vaccine, but the government aims to vaccinate 60% of them. So something's going to give. Something's going to give.
Gee, what a shocker that no one would trust Putin to give you a substance.
Well, Putin
poison you.
Putin has a plan in place. In Moscow, one of the places where you can get the vaccine is giving away free ice cream in order to entice people to get the vaccine. Someone said the ice cream itself is worth 100 rubles, so I guess that's something.
So Putin is doing the basically world leader / almost dictator equivalent of, "Hey, little girl, come in my van. I got candy."
I have to admit, though, I'm getting close to maybe willing to take the old Russian vaccine.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Would you take the Russian vaccine right now if you could go on a family trip to Turks and Caicos tomorrow?
Yes, I would. I would, for sure.
You would take the Russian vaccine?
Yeah.
Would you just take the Russian vaccine if they showed up at your house right now?
If they had like 3 gold bars, I would for sure.
Well, I think you're leaving out another scenario. They had like 3 soldiers with rifles. You know what I mean?
I would also then take the vaccine.
Yeah.
I mean, are people dropping dead in Russia from the vaccine?
No, because they're not taking it.
Well, there's somebody's taking it. I'm sure Putin's taking it. He looks like he's doing great.
I'm sure they would never cover up someone getting sick.
There are these. Somebody alerted me to an anti-vaccine video where they were talking. I think maybe I was talking about on the pod where they people think that they're just using the vaccines to track us. That they're inside the vaccine is some sort of thing that they can track all of our movements.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
those people watch.
I am not a conspiracy theorist, as we've talked here, but in Russia, I wouldn't put it by them.
Well, no, you already have your phone, but they can track you.
Yeah, that's the thing. They can track you in the phone.
I'll be honest. I mean, obviously, we all want our privacy, but this whole thing where like the government's going to track us and find out that I sit here and work and then go downstairs and watch TV. Like, what are they gonna?
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, look, who knows, right? I mean, but I will say this. I mean, my understanding is that the vaccine came out before it was approved in Russia. Is that what I saw? I think in that story. So it's like, how's it available before it's ready? Like, well, come on. I'm not taking that
maybe this is their testing phase.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's
get, by the way, we don't get into the politics and the big issues on this podcast, but let's get rolling, Canada. All right. Let's get rolling.
It's embarrassing.
What the hell's going on?
It's embarrassing.
What the hell is going on?
You know, and I've heard do not judge. It's too early to judge. Like, you know, if we suddenly have piles of it in March and April, and fine. We'll retract our statement, but let's go. We live in Canada. We brag about Canada.
Yeah.
We brag to our American neighbors how we're, better with healthcare and better organized and the whole bit. Come on, let's go.
We might be the worst in the world right now.
We're not the worst in the world, but we're like 48th and behind some ridiculous countries.
Yes. Like Israel, not that Israel's a ridiculous country, but Israel is like well on their way. Now, why is
done? Well, Israel's a difference. Israel's a unicorn in this entire thing, right?
Yes.
Small country, and they've got like half the population done or something ridiculous.
But even like
Canada,
Greece is ahead of us.
Wake up. Yeah.
Bad. I don't understand why we're not making it here. That's all I'll say.
Well, we will in 2026.
We'll get on top of it.
If there was a shortage of pucks, we'd be on that, wouldn't we?
Boys,
yeah, exactly.
If this thing lasts into the summer, I got big problems in the household. I love my girl to death, but she's having a little trouble now, and
I guess that's what I'm saying, Brooksy.
We need to get through this.
Just keep buying our bags, buddy.
Hashtag pray for Brooksy. Let's get it trending on the Rubber Boots Pod.
Done. Get that through your head.
Or I will just be living. I won't have the house anymore. I will be living in a tent made of Christian Dior bags.
It's not a bad way to go.
In a park.
Seriously.
Oh, that's not good. That should be
Mac
loose
and
leaf, right?
What's this about stuff? Somebody is I watched this for a second. Someone
Mm-hmm.
is putting now. Have I told you guys about my upbringing? I love my mother to death.
Well,
She's
this is
still
why I
alive.
included
She's-
this recipe.
Yeah.
Right. We've talked about aspic and things.
Aspic,
right?
Aspect, yes.
And
By the way,
and
I
my
will say
mother-
I've actually had aspic. Like my parents will buy it from the store on Christmas. It's like this greenish thing and Jello, and I don't know. I think my father eats a piece and then we toss the rest.
No, that thing's disgusting looking.
Yeah.
But at least my aspic was homemade.
Jesus.
That just sounds wrong. But my
Was made with
aspic
love.
was homemade. The thing about aspic, and it's been a few seasons since we talked about this, I loved it. Like I adored the aspic for years. Like it wasn't until I was probably maybe when I met Brooksy, and Brooksy came for Christmas dinner the first time when we were, I don't know, late 20s, and we left, and Brooksy said, Jimmy, what the is with this aspic thing?
And you're like,
And I'm
what?
like, what? What are you talking about, Brooksy?
Why did your parents Jello meat?
It's got cottage cheese. It's got tomato soup in a Jello form. It's got green onions. What wouldn't you like about it, Brooksy? Why are you questioning this?
Ugh.
But Brooksy opened my eyes to a lot of those things. Like my mom, we had a very standard formula for dinners during the week at our house.
Yeah.
And I've realized that a lot of it would include craft dinner, mac and cheese, but she would mix it up. She was an evil genius. She would trick us into thinking it was an original dinner. So like Mondays would be mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe a little white bread on the side to dip it in. Always yummy.
Wonder
Nice.
bread?
And Tuesday would be some chicken, and she made something called chicken and scum sauce. That's what we called it. It was like a mushroom sauce. My sisters called it chicken and scum sauce. And then Wednesday, mac and cheese with hamburger. So craft dinner
hamburger helper.
with
Nice.
some hamburger in there. It wasn't really hamburger helper. I think she'd actually cook the hamburger on the skillet and dump it in the mac and cheese.
Nice.
Quite yummy.
Okay.
Thursday, maybe hamburgers or something, right? Or whatever, maybe leftover. Friday, mac and cheese with wieners cut up in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also yummy. Saturday, homemade pizza. She did that very well. And then Sunday was always some sort of lamb chop or a pork chop, which was my least favorite day of the week. It was always overcooked. Our parents' generation were always scared of salmonella. I don't know why that is, but everything was overcooked. More you know.
Yes.
And anyway, what was the point of all that? Okay, Cheetos and mac and cheese. That's the one thing she never did. So this woman, Stoff, she's putting. Just explain what she does. And
So basically, she pours out a whole bag of Cheetos. She boils it and cooks it down. It becomes almost like this red sauce. She cooks the actual macaroni on another pot like you would normally. Then she takes the cheese packet and puts it into the boiling Cheetos water, mixes it in there, dumps the macaroni in, and you have mac and cheese that's now Cheeto flavored.
It looked disgusting.
It's got that kick. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Yeah.
So it does look
I didn't like it.
disgusting, but I think there could be a shot where I'm actually not a huge mac and cheese guy, period. But
Yeah.
What?
I think that could
What'd
be
you,
good.
what'd you say?
Why is that weird? A bunch of macaroni with like cheese dripping all over it.
That's pretty.
That's not pasta.
Look, Jimmy just told you it's a Canadian. It's like you got to have it. I had at least once a week when I was a kid too.
The first time I made dinner for a girl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
High school girlfriend. But I don't think it was during high school. We had a little rekindling afterwards. That was Leslie.
Oh, Leslie.
Beep, beep.
So she came over and I put candles on the table and made mac and cheese.
Wow.
And there was no sense of irony in me making the mac and cheese. I thought that was a wonderful meal.
Did
that I was making.
cut up the hot dogs into it?
No,
I didn't add the hot dog. I just went.
That would have sealed it. That would have sealed it.
That's why you guys aren't together still.
just wow. Did you have no
It's
ketchup?
amazing. I
Ketchup?
had like. I think ketchup was on the side if you chose.
Oh no,
I
you're not a
ketchup.
ketchup with mac cheese guy, are you?
Always.
Totally.
Oh,
I can have,
that's
listen,
I could see
can
that.
eat it
I don't
without.
think
I can eat it without. But come on, you know what? Can I tell you something? I put up listen, this is the way Facebook works. But I put up a big thing about George Floyd and everything last year, and I got a lot of traction on that. But then I also put up this thing about mac and cheese, and I had some ketchup on it. You would not believe how people went off about this thing with mac and cheese and ketchup. It's just, I mean,
George Floyd 100 likes.
It's just like, like people were like getting into it. Like, I can't talk to you anymore. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
That might be the problem with society.
Just a little.
It's like Black Lives Matter, but mac and cheese and ketchup? Are you kidding me, Lester?
No. Listen, to be fair, I got a lot of, like, a matter of fact, I ended up doing a podcast with you, Stoff, about that post I did about George Floyd, if you recall. But it was well received, but it was just funny. Like, it was this little thing I thought was nothing of, and people went nuts. So it's very polarizing. You're right. Well, mac and cheese.
Food on the internet in general. So I guess this leads me to this. They filmed this mac and cheese being made and it blows up because it looks crazy. What if we did a post with Jimmy making aspic?
That would do pretty well.
Whoa.
Because people
get the recipe. Get the recipe from mom and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Rex Chapman would literally retweet you and be like, "What the is this?"
Yeah, he would. And then all of a sudden, boom,
viral.
I will effort to do that. I think that would be a good little project. Maybe it would be my first TikTok video.
Yeah. Do like a whole little mini cooking show.
Music behind it.
Yeah.
All right, Aspic. I'm gonna put that on my list. I gotta write stuff down. I forget everything now. So yeah, like I put it on that. I put it on scrambled eggs, but don't do that often. People do it a lot.
What's that? Ketchup?
I think is it Carlo Coliacovo. Somebody puts ketchup on some crazy ass. Yeah, he puts it on steak.
Well, no, Carlo. The crazy thing he does is he eats shrimp and Jello at the same time.
What?
Oh, yeah, like cold shrimp and Jello.
That's
go with
weird.
I mean, you can't really go to buffets anymore, but if you take Carlo, you will see some things.
Well, when I did the morning show last year and talked about, and I probably talked about it on the pod too. But I think Landsberg was asking me about the craziest thing I ate, and I brought up aspic, but I also said, and I think we've talked about it on the pod, the sandwiches that my mom would give me at my lunch were peanut butter and jam normally, peanut butter and banana normally, peanut butter and lettuce on white bread. Did we talk about this stuff?
Yes, I remember this.
You did.
Yeah, so peanut butter, lettuce, and then jam and cheese. Cheese whiz and strawberry jam. Those were the
that's
two
the
other things.
disgusting one.
I'll be honest, that one seems more normal than the lettuce one.
Yeah, the peanut butter and lettuce one was weird, but Carlo had a weird ass one too that was just goofy. People are weird. Our parents' generation was strange.
That's
Plus,
true.
they didn't know anything about, like, I think they were fed back in the 60s and 70s. No one was saying, "Oh, you're eating too much sugar" or whatever. Like, I should be dead. I ate a box of Pop-Tarts every day for breakfast. I would come home from school and have a can of cherry pie filling, which probably has 1 million grams of sugar in it. I would have like 4 wagon wheels.
Sugar cubes.
Yeah. There was always sugar on the table, right? To pour on the cereal. Did you have? Of
course.
Yeah.
So my parents had the sugar cubes that they would take out, like when they had people over for like coffee or tea or something. And if I found that box,
it's amazing we're all alive.
Yeah.
Right. Nobody was
this
checking the grams of
you,
sugar.
it's all fine.
Listen. I think I agree. Kind of agree with what Puppy's saying here. Like, I think don't get me wrong. Like you can't be ridiculous, but
nothing
I think
in excess,
our society has been oversensitive. But I also will say this to counter that point, Puppy. I think the way food is processed has changed since we were kids, and I think the stuff that was fine when we were kids is not so much fine now. So
it's sort of like the sun. Like when we were kids, the sun was fine. Now it's like trying to kill us.
Well, no, that's partly true because the ozone's got holes in it. But I think we were all screwed. We just didn't know anything back then.
Yeah,
right?
It was always trying to kill us. We just figured it out.
Yeah. Would it have been better? Would we have been better? Were we better back then when we didn't know everything that was killing us?
Yes, absolutely. I think we were.
Because now it's just no fun.
If you don't have a hamburger, you're guilty. You know.
There was like a sweet spot.
Speaking of which, not doing portion control, but today finished day 8 of the 21-day fix.
I did notice you're looking good.
Looking a little bit ripped. I'm not going to lie about it. Feeling really strong. It was leg day today. And I just want to tell you guys that I did not modify.
Ooh,
Nice.
poor
Look
Cat
at
was
you.
on her own.
I lifted my
Look at you.
legs off the ground instead of, Cat's modification.
The little
I
taps.
did the full plank instead of the modified Cat with her knees on the ground.
Whoa,
plank.
whoa.
Screw you, Cat.
So
I'm
you
over
had gotten
you.
to the point in your fitness where you couldn't even plank anymore?
No, I'm just kidding. I wasn't doing that. Brooksy has had in the past some vertigo issues, so
Yes.
she can't go down like plank positions and stuff all the time. So she has to do plank against a bench or something in her basement. You know what I mean? Like a semi plank like
So
that.
like
right?
so it's like an incline.
Yeah. She uses in the sex room. She uses some of the machines in the sex room for that.
Is Brooksy enjoying it?
The sex room? Oh, yeah.
The sex room.
Yeah, she loves it. Shades of Grey room. Yeah, we built it, and the second Shades of Grey came out. Fortunately, Gracie found it the other day, and that was no. She's. I think she's. You know what? The thing I like about it, Puffy, is that you're not. You don't have to tell yourself to do it, right? Like when you're doing your own workout, it's like, okay, you end up quitting after a certain amount of reps because you're tired. And this just tells you to keep going. And I like to be, we're all robots in a way. I like just to be told, put on the video, tell me what to do. I will do it. I don't have to think as much as when I'm doing it on my own. I just watch them and then it's over. Boom.
Exactly.
I like it.